Then if you want to remove a node from the cluster, how to do that? For example, I don't want this server to this cluster. Select first, stop all roles. We have to stop role.
Now, 1 minute. So if we're adding node, that can be only the data node, right?
Any node, data nodes only. Generally, we'll add it to data nodes only.
Yes, yeah, I want to confirm that.
See, adding data node is a role, name node is a role. That is fine. Adding a new server, new physical server. In that server, whatever roles you can add it later, you can start, you can use it. But adding a server, we are try checking here. See, what is these physical, these four VMs, virtual
Node.
machines,
Yeah.
virtual servers. So after that virtual server, first virtual server,
We
after
can name
that,
it anything. Okay.
we install services. What is the services? Name node, data node, journal node, whatever it is.
Okay,
Similarly,
you can name it later.
new
Yeah.
server, adding a new server, right? So that is adding option. Removing a server from the cluster already. So, for example, if you want to remove this server you don't want from this cluster, select first and how many roles are running. Some 11 roles are running, right? We have to stop the roles first using stop command, right? Then after you stopping, for example, in this server data node is running. So if you stop the data node, what will happen? One copy will be missing. So the missing copy will be replicated to any other available data nodes in the cluster by name node automatically. Don't compare only this cluster. Take it multiple nodes cluster. Take it a 20 node cluster. For example, if this is having 20 node cluster, you want to delete one node. You select, stop the roles first. Then after some time, after stopping the roles, the data will be replication happen automatically. Then remove from the cluster. Then remove from the Cloudera manager. So this node will not be available anymore.
So first we have to stop the roles, then we have to remove the nodes or how?
Exactly.
Okay.
They made it easy, simple, right? Adding a node, removing a node, very easy. Just select, click. That's it.
So even the same thing for the removing roles? Same,
Yes,
can you show me how to
many
do that?
distributions also same. That's what. See, installation cluster, maintain the cluster, upgrade the cluster. Anything they get, they made it easy. Now let us see if you want to upgrade a Cloudera. So go to administration. So settings, not here. Let me check it. Alert security license. User security. Okay, this is Kerberos. Where is upgrade option?
You can
Okay,
search, right? Can you search?
we have option. Let me check it. Parcels, disks, diagnostics. Okay, here only. I forgot. So in here only you can find it. Upgrade cluster. See, but currently we are installed latest version 5.16.2. If in future 5.16.5.17 came, first we have to download that one package. Starting we downloaded, right? This one, installer bin. So the package we have to download it. So if you go to upgrade cluster, just check. See, upgrade CDH running on cluster. So it is asking, you have to choose latest version. If it is, we installed 5.10, it will show 5.16 here. Or else after 5.10, all the versions it will show. But we installed latest version. That is what it is showing empty. So you can select and then all the options next. That's it. Upgrade also very easy, right? rolling upgrade. Automatically it will take the upgrade. Got it? The upgrade also?
Yeah.
Simple. Every option you can find it here. Just click on here. Start, stop, rolling restart, deploy, upgrade cluster, refresh cluster, enable Kerberos. Kerberos is a security that we'll discuss later. So enable the Kerberos means after you have to install command line in the Kerberos. After that, you have to click on this. So enable Kerberos. There is a again the step-by-step option will come. Which cluster, which server you installed. So you have to select all the options. Continue. Then you have to mention the values. Which server you install the Kerberos, either MIT Kerberos or Active Directory. All the details, principles. Continue. Click on that option. Click on install option. So that is Kerberos installation. Kerberos is a security, one more security. So remaining, let us go here. Roles. What are all roles available in the cluster? So these are the roles available. Server 1, how many roles? Data node, HDFS failover controller, name node, IO server 2, Cloudera manager, alert publisher, all the roles, whatever available in the cluster, it will display here. So if you have multiple clusters in the single page, you can see cluster 1. If you have cluster 2, if you select cluster 2, that particular roles will be displayed. So it means every roles available in the cluster page cluster, it will display here. Then what is the other option? Host template. So host template is a empty one which you have to create it if you require anything. So you can create some sample name. Okay, so in that, what and all you want to add it. So host template means if HBase, if I'm adding, okay, these are the roles, and HDFS data node, only data node, or else here also HBase region server. I'll explain what is that. So then go to Hive. So Hive gateway, then Uji, not required. Then Scoop client, then Yarn node manager. So Zookeeper, if you want to add a Zookeeper, you can add. So if you create a host template, okay. So now, if you added any new server to Cloudera manager here, adding cluster option, right? Adding a new host. So if you can automatically assign this template, assign the host template to that server when you are installing. So these are the roles, whatever you selected roles, automatically installed on that particular new server. That is the host templates. And you can create multiple templates based on your configuration, based on your requirement. Okay, and you can create one more host template, and in that you can add only some name node or data node, whatever it is, whatever the services you want, you can click it. Same, you want to clone it or edit, delete, host template. Then disk overview. So currently, how many servers we have? 4 servers, right? 4 servers. Every server disks. It is showing the monitoring like this way. Disk capacity, input, output, all the operations you can monitor like this one. 4 servers, right? 4 servers, what is the status, everything. And also, we did not add racks, right? We'll see that adding a racks. Go to here. So you can select the first 2, assign a rack, okay? Slash rack 1. I'm assigning rack 1. Okay? Then third one, I'm assigning rack 2. Then this one, I'll assign it to rack 3. Like this way. How many servers based on your cluster, you can assign the racks. So where it will display, you can see here, total 3 racks, like this way. So this is physical topology, racks and all, right? Physical server. So like this way, just we can assign the racks and other options, parcels. Parcels, where we have seen when we install Cloudera starting packages or parcels. So if you want to go with parcels, you can download and check the parcels. What are the version we downloaded, parcels and all. So these are the, if you want to download. So you see, some of the we have not added. Download, deactivate. If you want, like this way, download. All the packages you can download it, whatever you want, right? So these are the host details in the tab, all the options. Then diagnostics, events, logs, server logs. Let us check on events. See what and all events means what we did today, March 14th, from the starting to ending. All the information we have displayed starting from the cluster installation and what and all we checked it, all the options it is showing in the events. Right? If you want a particular search, you can search it like this way, 1 hour, last 2 hours, like this way. Then logs. So source, all source, what and all services we have. So here you can search logs, click on search and maximum input level, maximum log level, input or trace, debug, warning, error, fatal, anything. So search logs. Your recent logs will be displayed here, all the servers for the respective log. You see, data node log, everything, every log it will display. So this is services logs. What is the services? Hadoop services. And other option, Cloudera Manager server log. You see, Cloudera Manager server log. You can get like this way. Then what is the other options? Audit. So audit means, so what and all happened on which server is happened on which node, what happened. So which server is logged on which node and what is the IP address details and what happened, which server it is logged in, authentication type, everything. Auditing means what happened on the particular server, who logged in, who executed what command, everything details will be, you can able to find it, right? Then chats. So chat builder, dashboard we know. What is the dashboard here? This is the dashboard, first one. You see, it is displaying, these are the dashboard charts. You can create a new chart. You can create a new chart. So how to create a new chart? Chat builder. Create a dashboard, you can create a new dashboard. So dashboards, create a new dashboard. Simple, right? Then backup and recovery. Here is important. So here, backups, replication schedule, peers, snapshot policy. Snapshot we'll discuss later. That is a separate topic. Okay. So peers replication. So click on replication schedule. So you can create a schedule. So here, the backup, they made it for two important components. One is HDFS, second Hive. So Hive is a metadata backup. HDFS, complete data backup. So you can create a schedule. Okay, for example, HDFS replication. So you can give some name. So source, where is the source server? We have only one cluster, path. Some we can give some path or else some test folder. So destination slash production. If you have same cluster or if you have multiple cluster, so immediate replication or let us see backup will create a folder here. So HDFS DFS hyphen mkdir test. Okay, so I'm creating a folder, test folder. Similarly, I'll create a production folder. Okay, so from the test, we'll load some data. That data, we'll take it as a backup to production. Okay, we'll give you that same cluster. So HDFS DFS hyphen put sample file. I'll load into test. Similarly, sample one. We'll copy 3 files into test. Okay, similarly sample2 also. So 3 files we have loaded into test folder. Test is a folder which we created on Hadoop. You can check the folder hdfs dfs-ls/test. We have 3 files in the test, right? Let us and check in production any folder is there, prod any, nothing, no production folder is empty. We'll create a replication backup here. Okay, so immediate replication, save schedule. So run as, you can give some name also. So here you can see test data copy to prod. We have given some name. Okay, then same cluster and destination path. So save schedule. We can dry run also. Let us creating the schedule. You see, schedule backup success 100%, but it got something failed, I think. Okay, there may be some different issue. So let us dry run. It is showing progressing, but don't know whether it is successful fail. Okay, let us run now. It is showing HDF replication command failed. There may be some problem. But to creating a backup and replication is like this way. So backup, we can see one more option, Pierce. Okay, so this is replication command. So replication schedules. So we'll go with Pierce. Pierce means here also some backup we can create. We can verify whether the data is came back in the prod folder or not. Not. Okay, fine. So here add a peers. So here peer name. We can give some peer name, something test cluster. So path, we need to give some path here. Okay, so peer URL, peer admin username, admin password 7183 manager 1. We'll take it URL. Okay, host name we have here, right? So server 7183. So we can give admin. We have just created a peer. So connection refused on the same machine. It is showing. Let us change IP. Connection refused. Okay, there may be some problem. It is showing. So for HDFS Hive replication, add a peer Cloud RAM Manager server. That should be source of your replicated data. Data from the peer cluster can be replicated to an HDFS or Hive managed by the Cloud RAM Manager. Okay, so peers option is not working. Let us check it here. but this is the only option where we can click on creating a peers, then source and destination we can add it. That is the backup where we can take it here. That is the option. And let us check snapshot policy. Create a snapshot policy. Okay, so this is snapshot. Snapshot means one more backup type. So you can select HDFS, no snapshot path, navigate, file browser tab. Okay, so we have to create the snapshot first. So HDFS, you see, this and all, we have done something, configuration updates, right? It is asking required to restart. Okay, that we can do later. Here, there is a file browser option. So enable snapshot. Okay, so we'll add it, enable snapshot on complete path level. The snapshot theory, practical we can see later also. Okay, but I'm just enabling snapshot enabled. Okay, so go back, snapshot policy, create a snapshot policy. So name, you can give test data copy. You can give same path, complete path we have given. So you can give it like hourly snapshot or anything, whatever you want, or every hour or every daily. Every day, one snapshot, you can save the policy. So whatever the Hadoop level, where is Hadoop here? So here Hadoop, HDFS, DFS-ls slash, whatever the files available here. You see, sample, sample1, sample2, everything, all files automatically taking as a backup, as a snapshot. Snapshot is one of the backup method where we can use it in the Hadoop environment. That will not occupy any space in your cluster. It will not occupy. It is read-only point of backups. That when we discuss with back snapshot, we'll discuss later separately. Okay, practical also we can see that. So this is adding a snapshot backups. Take a snapshot policy backup. You see, it is not yet started. We can show history, edit configuration, disable. Once it is done, last run it will show when the snapshot has taken a backup, HDFS data backup. Or if you want a complete folder, only one folder you want to enable, you can add it folder wise. Snapshot is nothing but a backup. If you are, for example, in your cluster, someone is removed the data. So using that snapshot, you can able to restore it. Snapshot means every hourly we schedule it, right? So every hourly, whatever the data is coming here, it is automatically taking as a backup.
So where it will store?
It is stored on the particular user .snapshot directory.
Okay.
That we can see when we are going with theory and practical separately. We'll see that and we'll do the practical. But here snapshot taking to here web and enabling the snapshot policies and how to check that policies what and all, how to create it. This is the way. We created a policy name, cluster, service, and what objects? All objects slash. Slash means HDFS. Fine. So this replication schedule, it's not working. So we have to verify what is the reason. It is failing that. Replication schedule, it got something failed. Okay, you can see that. So you're asking troubleshooting, right? So we try to replication something. It is not happening. So you can go and check it history. There you can find something. You see, clearly it is showing something. DHCP command is trying to do that. Okay, it is showing data does not exist. It is showing some error. It is showing. So you have to find it like this way. What is the problem? This is the problem. Data does not exist. It is showing. But I don't know whether the data is available or not. That is later. But error. What is the error? This is the error. That is the reason the failed that job, whatever it is, we replication it is showing that is failed. Right? And if you go to another open, same one it is showing. DHCP is trying to do. DHCP data is trying to copy from test to prod folder. It is showing data does not exist something. But when we check it, data is available, right? When we check it, data is available. But I don't know what's the reason why it is failing. Data is still available, but when we check it, try to run the sample job, it is failing. So let us delete option. Let us create one more schedule. Again, HDFS replication. Permission, failure, everything is there. Skip checksum, okay. So let us create unique name. HDFS cluster, source path, okay. So destination prod. So schedule once or else immediate. Run user name as okay, HDFS. Okay. So run peer username as HDFS. Oh, we have not created a peer username, right? Okay. Save schedule. It is trying the job starting to copy, but it is failing. I don't know what's the reason for that one. Dry run. So there may be some configuration issues. That's the reason it is failing. But generally, whatever the steps we did, that's a correct. There could be some different reasons, some configuration or some problem maybe. You know, some other issues maybe happen in the because we installed the cluster, right? Some may be configurations which may require to fix the issue. But generally, this is the way to creating your replication schedules. Peer schedules, peers, it is asking the URL, but I'm trying to add it. It is not taking manager 1.7 or something. Provide a full URL for the remote Cloudera manager. Okay, so we need to add a remote Cloudera. So we don't have a remote Cloudera. That is what it is not taking. Remote means cluster 2. If you are adding a peer from this cluster to other cluster, peer, other cluster URL, it's required. So we don't have other cluster here. So that's what it is failing. So we cannot able to create here. So this is the chats and backup option. Then administration, settings of the cluster, alerts, users, security, license, language, external accounts. So we'll see first settings. So cluster level settings. You can see all the things like based on your category, you can find it. So all the based on that everything, all the securities settings, you can find it like per page 25. So multiple pages, all the options you can find it. So this is cluster settings. Then alerts. So these alerts are like host wise or else service wise, you can enable it. You see, health, host wise, HBase wise, HDFS wise, alerts disabled for data node health. We disable it, right? Suppressed. So enable for failover, all the things. And Hive management. So UZ, Scoop, Yarn. So something like alerts, you can find it. You can set up like this way. Okay. Then users. So what and all users we have currently? We have only admin user, admin. If you want to add a new user, you can add it. So username, Kalyan. Password also same, right? So for you, here the role we have to select. Okay, for you, I'm not giving as administrator. I'll give you only operator or read-only cluster. Okay, so it means you don't have a full access for the cluster. You are not a full administrator. You cannot restart services. You have only read-only, just monitoring the cluster. And if I create some more, right? So here I'll create some operator. Okay, so operator. So for example, if you want to load it, if you are logging, for example, if you just log out here, and if you log in as your ID, you cannot see all the options like this way, like all, for example, here you can see multiple options. These options may not display for you based on the role what we selected for both of you. And to remove a user, delete. Or if you want to assign a role, you can change the whatever the role here. So this is user management in Cloudera. So security. So Kerberos enable, Kerberos is currently disabled. If you want to enable, you can set up Kerberos installation and then enable the Kerberos security. And HDFS data at rest encryption disabled. If you want to set, you can set it. This is security part in the Cloudera manager. Then license, cluster licenses. So this is expiry date. So 2020, 13th. So May 13th it will expire. 60 days, right? We have taken 60 days free version, right? Trial license. So how many cluster nodes, how many services we installed, all the details you can find it here. Similarly, other options, language settings. If you want to save any Hindi, English, something like different languages based on that, you can find it Dutch, not Hindi, maybe English, Dutch, different countries. Okay, based on that. Then finally, external accounts. So what is external accounts? Azure, AWS, cloud, right? So if you have any external accounts and you want to include that accounts, import here. So you can do that one. Adding Azure credentials or AWS credentials or Altus credentials. So like this way, whatever you have any. So you can add an external account also. Then if you go to support, so here you can find all the details. Support portal, Cloudera support portal, schedule diagnostics and installation guide, upgrade guide, documentation, feedback, about. So about, you can find it. Which version of Cloudera you are using? JVM version, Java version, server start time, all the details you can find it. Right? So admin, your profile, change password, logout. So then go to here. Let us go to here, and there is a one more option, one or two more options. Let us see. So here, go to cluster. There you can find Yarn applications, right? You can, and also
Now, one more question about the administration thing. So the user management, we have to allocate the user, right? Our part, this is
uh,
our administrator part, right? Adding user,
yes,
removing user.
yes.
Okay.
2 to 3 members joined in your company. Okay, they join into your project. Okay, so they want to add Cloudera manager page UI. So you have to add a user here.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
Okay. So here we'll see. So utilization report, your cluster utilization report, everything you will get it. So day wise, cluster default, configuration default, or else daily, weekly, whatever it is. So you can check it, overview, and yarn. If you run executed any yarn. So we have not executed any, right? Nothing it is showing. That's what. Capacity planning. So performance tuning. We have not started anything, right? That is what it will show. Currently it is showing disable the metrics something. Okay. So you can select the date wise, last today or yesterday, whatever it is, the report, containers, metrics, everything, all the details it will display here. Okay. Then other options, yarn applications. So if any yarn applications running, you can see it here in the applications. Currently nothing is loading. So yarn application means what is jobs execution, either word count or a pi value, anything. So nothing is there here. We have not loaded, we have not executed anything. That's what it is showing empty. Okay. Then other option, dynamic resource pool configuration. Like, so how many resources, how many groups, pools available here? So default, we have a default group based on your CPU, memory, everything. It is showing default 100, 50, 50. If you want to create a new pool, okay, automatically divide the 100 by 35, 35 something. If you create two more groups, 25, 25, 25, 25, 4, it will display. Scheduling pools, scheduling rules. If you want to schedule a job, placement rules, user limit. So create a user limit. For example, okay, so user, Kalyan, how many maximum applications you can run, maximum jobs, 10 jobs in the cluster. So you can run 10 jobs at a time. 11th job, if you're trying to submit, that will fail. You can restrict. So one user, they can submit 20, 30 jobs. So it means he only occupying all cluster resources. That is a bad idea. We can restrict them. Why they want to run every job today? They can run it for next day, right? Tomorrow. So that's a way of restricting. We can restrict it. Change, create a user limit for job. That is, so, and if you want to default settings, you can go with the default. This is dynamic pooling. So let us try to create a pool here. So pool A, I want to create a pool A. So pool A, space is not allowing. Okay, so we can restrict how many minimum resources, maximum resources, okay, and maximum apps per running in this pool, master sharing, scheduling policy. Okay, you can see there are three more schedulers here. So FIFO, FAIR, capacity, that we can see later. What is the theory part? Okay, preemption, submission, administration access. Okay, just create a pool. I am creating a pool. You can see now 50-50 got change it to 33.3. I'll create one more pool, pool B. Now you see, like this way, how many pools you created, the resources will be automatically converted. You can refresh dynamic pool. And if you remove pools, okay, if you go with root, only root default, 100% it will display for that. So this is configuration of yarn resource manager level, pool level, groups, and assigning the groups, default groups, and if you want to add a new group, how it will be. So these are the details. So any doubts, any confusion?
So I have to go through and what all the policies
Options.
and what all the options we have to get
Touch it.
training
You
on
have to
that.
touch it every option. You have to check every option.
Yeah, what all the other, okay.
Yes. So you start with, don't go with 3 to 4 node cluster. You can take one node. One node, So which one? You can go to here, one node only, just one node launch. Okay, that node you can take it, and when you are selecting, we have an option, right, memory. You can take it 15 GB. Within one node, you can install Cloudera Manager, name node, secondary name node, one data node. Then do some operations. Then delete that machine. Then you can add 4 nodes remaining again, 3 nodes or 4 nodes. Like that, you can practice it multiple times. Don't stop it single time, one time installation, because we need to know installation, what are the steps, what are the values we are giving, what are the configuration files we are touching. That is required as admin. See, work and all later, remove troubleshooting steps and all, that is later. So, but installation is our main mandatory. What and all installation, when you are installing single node cluster, what and all roles we can see. Similarly, when you are installing multi-node cluster, what and all options available? If you go with single node cluster, there is no high availability, right? There is no high availability. If you are going with multi-node cluster, we can have a high availability for storage layer plus processing layer, plus journal nodes, zookeepers, all the options. That you should understand.
So for practice purpose, I have to install one node, then practice, get familiarized, then I can add a couple of nodes.
Yeah, yes, you can add. Or else you can directly, if you're very confident after seeing the video or go through once again video and your confidence, just start your cloud, Google Cloud Platform page and then launch 3 to 4 instances, go with. I'll share the document. Step by step, whatever it is mentioned. There is nothing, you see, there is no restriction of putty accessing from your machine. Nothing is there. Everything will work if you did correctly as per the document. Don't miss single step. It will work perfectly.
Okay.
So Shruti, any questions, any doubts?
In real time, which we are going to use, this one or the, 2x? We are not going to use 2x, right? Only this one we will use in the
Only
real
this,
time.
only most of the thing Cloudera.
Okay.
That's, if you take it 100%, for example, let me show you. See, if it is 100%, total companies people are using. Okay, so most of the thing 60% Cloudera. The 60% they are using Cloudera. Throughout the world, almost all companies, 60% they are using Cloudera. And remaining 15 to 10 to 15 Hortonworks, and remaining 10 Mapr, remaining other distributions. So these last is other distributions, and this is Mapr, and this is Hortonworks. Now, Cloudera, Hortonworks, both are merged, as I mentioned. Now, this also, you see how much competitor now, Cloudera? Almost all Cloudera. If you start your searching, people will, you can see Cloudera, 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 or Hortonworks. Very rarely you can see Mapr. Very rare. Because the Mapr distribution, as I mentioned, it is costly. Cloudera, Hortonworks, little bit cheaper.
Also
So,
user friendly too for troubleshooting other stuff. It'll, you can time consuming. You can make it faster, fix
yes,
the issues very fast on that. Yeah.
yes. And your duty when you joined a company, okay, as I mentioned, you will not get a chance to install a cluster anymore because almost all clusters are installed already. If by chance, if you get any chance to install a cluster, you are lucky. Then after you install, you have to monitor like this way. You have to open your cluster page, you have to monitor this way. So when you log into company, when you join a company, when you log in early morning, when you go to the company and log in first, you have to open the Cloudera page. So it means monitoring the cluster status first. What is the cluster status? How it is? Then what is the storage capacity? Whether storage capacity is under control or it's fully occupied. how it is going on storage capacity. It means, so from the real time data is keep on coming, right, daily. So you have to monitor the cluster storage also, as well as services. That is our duty. And generally we are receiving tickets, right? Normal, they're regular tickets. So I am not able to submit my job and my space is full. So different tickets are coming. So you have to go through the tickets later. But first activity, so the people will ask, what is your day-to-day activity? My day-to-day activity, monitor the cluster status and always make sure cluster is healthy. So when you can say cluster is healthy, you put here good health, your cluster is healthy. If you put here, it shows red color, cluster is bad health. So our duty to monitor the cluster, make sure the cluster is up and running every time the cluster is healthy. And
The storage option is in the cluster tab, or where it is?
yeah, we can see, right? Disk
Yeah,
overview,
disk overview. Okay.
disk node by node overview, or else you can go to hosts. You can see the disk usage. 100 GB you have taken, 12 GB is using, so this much free. If it is keep on going, so that will be fill up. Or else you can run a command, hdfs dfs admin -report command. You can see all servers, disk capacity, empty capacity. You see server by server. First server. What about configured? This is using. What is configured capacity? So distributed file system, you configured 89.99 GB. So nearly 90 GB, right? Remaining 10 GB, which one it is using? Non-DFS. What is non-DFS? Operating system you are using, right? So we configured total 100 GB disk. In that 10 GB, it is configured for operating system, and 90 GB distributed file system. We copied only 3 files, right? That 3 files, it is occupying this much space. So server by server, you can get it all the status. Or else you want to see this server disk df-h. What is this server capacity? You can find its file system and free space, everything. 88 GB free, total 100 GB, right? Available space, like this is server wise. Whole cluster wise also, the disk options, where we have seen right here, the disks overview. Or else one more, the main option here, it is there, right? Disk, you see disk. What is the disk capacity? For example, if it's taking complete all the machines, it is going up and down, right? Disk IO, sorry, this is disk IO. You can create a table, you can create a chats and builders. You can create a chat. So create a dashboard, disk space. You can create a disk space option, create, and you can import, you can add a chat. What you want to add? Some disk space. Maybe select query, you have to write some queries. Okay, you can see select CPU percentage or memory or whatever it is. So that build chat. After you building the chat will be displayed like this way. Whatever you selected. Or else we created one, right? Let us see. Disk space. So example, add a chat. Select CPU percentage. Select disk data size. Okay, so you can see a lot of options available. Disk utilization. Okay, so build a chart, save. Disk space, save chart. So disk space chart is created. Here it is not added, we can add it. Disk space. So this chat add from chat builder. So add from chat builder. So
Should
how
be
to
in,
add?
should be in
Like
dashboard, right?
chat. Okay. Okay. Actions. Edit, clone, export. So import dashboard. Okay, that is import dashboard. This says we have to add it. There is an option. But you can see the disk space like this way. I did not find how to add into main dashboard. Okay, but here you can see disk utilization every 10 minutes or else every hourly. How much disk utilization? You see, it is showing everything. Last 1 hour, this is the disk utilization. Last 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, 30 days. 30 days no data because we just created today only, right? You can see like this. So auto refresh, everything you can do it auto refresh. So all the options you can select. It's everything, but you need to know. For example, if you are going to create a new dashboard, everything it is there, some A, B, C, D, some name. So what you want to add it, this A, B, C, D. If you open, okay, add chat. So here you can see there are some options are given. So what and all you want to add it, you can just type it, you need to know, that's it. And then if you want to add it one server, you see host category, same memory where. Example query also they have given. Save it, add it to main page so that it will be added to main page. Okay, adding main page maybe somehow dashboards. But it's not displaying. There's a way to add dashboards here. Not this way.
Import option, we can import or no?
Add from chart builder. Import option is like outside. If you're creating a dash chat outside, that you can add it. Custom, okay. This is default. Custom, there may be option. We can directly, whatever we created the dashboard, we can add it here. But I did not find exactly where to add it. All the options, here it is there. Preserve, reset layout, add from chat builder. Select, block, iterate something, okay. So build chat, repeat, block, iterate, scalar linear, okay. Then finally heat maps table, okay. CDH homepage, okay. So dashboard name, block, iterate. Now it will display. You see where it is, it's not showing still. So we can drag and drop it, add to dashboard. It's already added, name custom dashboard. Okay. where it is added, block iterate, you see, block iterate. So the settings only we need to know. This is the block iterate where we created a dashboard. So like this way, now the client is expecting, if you are working as admin, we have to create like this type of dashboards and provide to them to proper understanding. That's what a client will expect. So they don't want values and all in an Excel page values. They want something like when they want to see, okay, this much happened, either data size or whatever it is, data loading, data availability, capacity, whatever it is. They want to see some of these things like this way.
Yeah, how to save and get the report. If for the manager will ask this kind of report, so to
Yes.
show the things, so we have to snap with a snapshot or page
Chat and
screen.
builder. Yeah, we have to take it. No need to save it. So you
Okay.
can create a dashboard. So the client is also having this access, right? You can
Yeah.
just inform them. This is the chat we have created dashboard.
Okay.
Login. It will display
Okay. They can
automatically.
go and check in the dashboard. It will shows, right?
You can directly check it in the dashboard. It will open. And they can change the time, whatever they want, either automatic, last 1 week, last month. It will display. So that's what I'm saying. Try all the options, whatever options available here. See, if you see charts, we have multiple options. Create a dashboard and give some name. Okay, some name, create. Select all the options. What is that? Go to here, add a chart. You can type something, select. So a lot of options coming, right? And name node. Name node, refresh rate, or name node, max across rate, like or else data node. All the options will come. Average report time, dead nodes, every report. So for example, if we create a dead node, okay, so dead nodes, then save it, dead node, dashboard name, home page, it is added. Where it is dead node. If any data node is dead, it will display here. Like that, if you are able to capable of providing this information, everything is like GUI, right? Select, search, create a report, proper name, then just inform to client. That's it. But the same way, if you want to try with Go and command line, you have to type several commands and then run the programs, right? That is the, that's a difficult on that one normal. And this is very easy on the monitoring, managing the cluster. So now I don't want to go to run on here, run the command. What is HDFS, FSCK? I don't want to run. Why you are running? No need to run. Everything it is displaying up to date, right? So up to date displaying every 5 seconds it is refreshing. You can find that values also will change. Or else, if you want, you can just click on here in the name. And one more option, adding a new cluster to this page. Add a cluster. Continue. If you have new servers, you can create a new cluster. So these are the options available in the Cloudera. So any questions?
No.
Okay, so 2 more options we're pending, right? So how to validate Hive and HBase? Okay, let us see. Now we installed HBase, right? We installed HBase and Hive. So whether Hive is started or not, how to check? Simple, type it Hive, press enter. So you see terminal started. So you can run some sample command, show databases command. If any databases are there, so we have a default database, Hive. So if you want to use default database, use default. So terminal will change to default. So now show tables. No table. If you want to create a table, create table. We have the command, right? So emp employee number, emp number as some int, so emp id, emp name, or else ename as string something, right? And row format delimited by something, value is there. Row format delimited field by something. Let me open. We'll create a table. So what is this? Let me open. Okay, so we'll try to create one table, or else first we'll try to create a database. Okay, so let us go back here, stop it, create database command. Create test database, test, created a test database, right? Now show databases. So we have default database, now test database we created, right? Let me minimize here. You see, test database, default database. Now we want to use test database. Use test. Okay, so show tables. No tables. We'll create a table. I'll take a simple table. So this is the table. I'm taking, okay, not this one, no. That is a syntax. Create a table, employee, some employee ID, integer, employee name, string, salary. Okay, so created. Then show tables, one table. So how to check that data in Hive? Normal. Select star from employee table, right? Employee. No data. So loading data is a different. We have to put some values in the one file, and then we can load into the table. This is the loading option. Okay, so then that is the validating Hive. So if you want to exit, exit. Then HBase. How to validate HBase? HBase space shell. It is loading. Then you will see HBase terminal. You see HBase terminal. So we can see some of the sample commands in HBase. So version, if you want to know HBase version command. So 1.2.0 CDH Cloudera something. You see some, let me open a paint and then background so you won't confuse. You see HBase version 1.2.0. Then other options, who am I, who logged in. So who am I? Which user logged in? HDFS user logged in. Then status. If you want to see the status. One active master, 2 servers, right? 2 what servers we have? Region servers. We created 2 region servers, right? So same command status, simple. You can type it simple means it will show very less values. It is showing data node, which server it is and which live active master and all. So if you want to see the tables, list of tables, you can type a list command. If there are any tables, it will display. You see, I am running here in the background. So to create a table with employee details and department details like this way. So this is the HBase validate. Only you need to know validate. Validation means login HBase shell command and check that's working or not. Similarly, pig. We have not installed pig, right? Pig shell. If it is installed pig, it will display the pig command. So this is the validation of ecosystem tools. So any question?
No, good.
So clear, able to understood how to validate? Okay. For example, if so let us stop one data node, any one data node, and then we can see whether it will display some alert. So we have 4 data nodes, right? So I'll stop it one last server data node. I'll stop it manually. So from your end, you can consider that is some problem. Suddenly data node stop it. We can consider like that, but I'm stop it manually here. Okay, it is done. Now you can find it. It will take some time. Refresh. So here, if you wait for a minute, sometime refresh. If you open, you will get some alert type. You see, data node 3 good health, 1 stopped. So now these blocks, this data node blocks, whatever it is there, it will automatically replicate it to other nodes that we can see here. Let us refresh. So which one active? So this is active. Okay. Okay. But you see, still it is showing, we stopped also. Still it is showing, what it is showing? 4 active nodes. Why? Actually, we stopped it, right? But why? So name node is trying to get heartbeat signal from the stopped node. So it will wait 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Then after 10 minutes, 30 seconds, there is no heartbeat from the last node. So it is considering as decommissioned node and it will move to dead node. So dead node here, dead node. Next 10 minutes, 30 seconds, that will be still, it is trying to get the heartbeat. Now data node stopped, there is no heartbeat, but still it is not moving immediately, right? It will take 10 minutes, 30 seconds. You can wait 10 minutes, 30 seconds, then the data node will move to dead node here. So any questions? Any other question? Any doubts? Everything? And moreover, you concentrate on Cloudera, both hardwoods. Both that is also similar, but not this much familiar. You need to run some more commands parallel manually also. When you are doing high availability, we have to run some commands manually. But the commands they will provide you. For example, if you are going with name node high availability, we have to run some commands manually. The commands they will give you on the screen. You have to copy that and run it manually. That is the difference between Cloudera Hardworks. That's it. Remaining all operations are same. So if you don't have any questions, I'll stop the recording. Okay. I'll stop the recording.